Hey guys, Dara here, and today I'll be talking about my top favorite books of 2017. Now, 2017 was the year of the reading slump. Whenever I'd have a good reading month, the next 2 or 3 months would be horrible. Sometimes I wouldn't even pick up a book in 2 months. Sometimes I'd only read 2 books in the span of 3 months. So it was just, it was a horrible reading slump kind of year. I feel like a lot of people were in the reading slump this year. Without further ado, let's just get started. But before I get into the list, I just want to talk about one honorable mention, and that is Between Shades of Grey by Rita Sepetys. This book was life. This book was so amazing. I absolutely loved it. It made me cry so many times. This book is set in World War II in 1941, and it's during the Holocaust. I've said this a few times in reviews. I don't know if some of you guys read it. My Goodreads, be my friend. Link down below. But we only hear about what was going on in Germany. In the textbooks, we do get a few paragraphs here and there about Stalin and what was going on in Russia, but we don't really get the full effect of it. At least that's how it was back in my day when I was in high school. I can't believe I get to say that. I feel so old. At least in the textbooks of my day, we don't really get an exact number of how many people Stalin killed, and even if you research it, they just tell you that Hitler was worse than Stalin. This book follows Lena, a girl who is sent to a Siberian concentration camp in the Soviet Union alongside with her parents. And there we read about how she is strong and how she decides to fight and try to survive this war. I actually read Salt to the Sea first, and then I read this book, so I kind of made the connection. Like, oh my gosh, Lena was cousins to one of our main characters in Salt to the Sea. So I feel like I should have read this book first and then Salt to the Sea. And the book on my number 5 spot is One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. And this is a murder mystery book. I love how this book was so diverse with its main characters, and I love the point of views. I love the puzzle that it created and tried to figure out who was the person that killed the other person. It was a fantastic, phenomenal book. I know a lot of people did not like it because they figured out who it was from the very beginning, and kudos to you guys. You guys have a better brain than I do, because every character had something to hide. None of them were as innocent as they seemed, so it just played tricks with your mind trying to figure out who looked the guiltiest. It's a modern day type Breakfast Club with a murder mystery. Yeah, if you've seen The Breakfast Club, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, freaking love that movie. 5 kids go into detention, 1 of them dies, and the other 4 are our main suspects. Book number 4 is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Now, I'm going to get into watery territory right now. I love YA. I am a constant reader of YA, and I feel a hair on my lip. I love YA, but I would love and I would enjoy reading other books where the main character is not under the age of 18. Because let's face it, I'm at the type of age where people under 18, for some reason, I cannot relate as much anymore. Adulting priorities, what can I say? So I was in a scavenger hunt trying to find books where the main character was my age and the storyline appealed to me. It Ends With Us is about our main character Lily, and she finds love in the form of a neurosurgeon. Derek Shepherd! Ha! Gotcha there. His name is Ryle. Can you tell I've been watching too much Grey's Anatomy? Now, Ryle is the type of guy that does not want to... I just hit my elbow. He's the type of guy that doesn't want to date. He just wants to screw around and not have any type of complicated, messy relationships. But then he meets Lily, and that no dating rule goes out the window. So now that they're in their little honeymoon bubble, Lily can't believe that her luck has changed from her messy childhood life to this wonderful adult life. And then she bumps into her childhood love. And then she feels like this life that she just built is gonna crumble to the ground. This book does contain domestic violence and abuse in a relationship, so it's not all fun and love. And it is very eye-opening on the subject, just to let you guys know. The number 3 book on my list is The Princess Saves Herself in This One by Amanda Lovelace. Another thing I did this year was dabble into poetry. I did read Milk and Honey before I read The Princess, but I didn't quite enjoy Milk and Honey. I don't know, I don't think the writing style was kind of what I liked. But let's talk about my favorite poetry book, and that is The Princess. I loved the writing style. Amanda did an amazing job. The writing style kind of reminds me of Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi, how the main character crosses out her thoughts and then changes them to what we want to hear. So it was amazing to see that type of writing in this poetry. Like, you could see the writer of the book crossed out a passage and she would write what we thought we wanted to hear. It happens more in the beginning than it does towards the end, but there are a few crossed out passages towards the middle and kind of like none towards the end, because she has made her mind that she wants to be truthful. And this book, or collection, is filled with poems about love, loss, grief, inspiration, and empowerment. It was a joy to read, and I can't wait to read more poetry, especially if it's written in this same way. Now, book number 2 on my list is none other than A Court of Mist and Fury. This was the year of Sarah J. Maas for me, because last year, 2016, was the year of A Throne of Glass. I don't know why I was gonna say A Court. And this year was the year of A Court of Thorns and Roses. If you do not know what A Court of Thorns and Roses is, it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but we throw that out the window in this one. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, the first one is horrible, I can't pull through, it's so boring. I know it's because Feyre is like a robot. She has no tone whatsoever. She's like, I had trouble with it as well, but it's good to pull through so you can get to this beauty. Sometimes I hit myself in the face because I wish I would have read it last year so I could have been raving about it like everyone else, instead of raving about it now by myself when everybody has read it. Because when I'm like all fangirling about it, they're like, yeah, I know, I so enjoyed it, and I'm all over here like, oh my god, Ryzen is so amazing, I can't wait. Oh my god, did you see that after Ryzen? That's how I fangirl by myself. And the book that made the number 1 spot is a book that I loved, that you need to read in a course of a week. It's a book that you need to indulge yourself with. You cannot read through it, just like you cannot rush eating good meals. And the book I'm talking about is The Female of the Species by Mindy McManus. This is a book that you need to go into without knowing much, because that's the best way to read it. In this book, we follow 3 people, Alex, Jack, and PK. Now, they each get together to combine an unlikely of friendship. That's all you get though. You need to go into it not knowing much, because that's just the best way to indulge into this read. So those are the books that made my top 2017 list. Please leave down in the comments below which books made your list. And thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more of my face, and I'll see you in my next video.